please stand and remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Wise County Veterans Group, the singing of the national anthem by Mr. Rob Lane, and the invitation by Mr. Ralph Willingham.
Please join with me in singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. Our Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Thank you for our graduates. Thank you for all the hard work that they put in and that you walked them through and directed them and gave them wisdom through this time. And we pray, Father, that you will walk with them as they go forth and represent Weatherford College out in the world. We pray that you will continue to be with their support groups, help them to continue to pray for them and support them in every possible way. We thank you for our administration, our board, our faculty, and our staff. Thank you for loving us, and thank you for this beautiful time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please be seated. I would like to welcome all of you to the Weatherford College class of 2016 graduation ceremony. It is an honor to be with you to celebrate the accomplishments of these graduates. Each of you here, parents, spouses, children, family members, and friends, have provided tremendous encouragement and support to these graduates, and I speak for them when I say how pleased we are that you are here. I would also like to recognize another group of individuals who have played an instrumental role in the lives of these graduates. Will the Weatherford College faculty, staff, and Board of Trustees members please stand? The dedication and hard work of these individuals has led to where these graduates are today. So please give them another round of applause. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for the evening, Mr. Kurt Harris. Kurt is the 2016 Weatherford College Alumnus of the Year. After leaving Weatherford College in 1969, Kurt spent 6 years in the military. He then began what would be a 39-year career with the Weatherford Fire Department, the last 24 years as fire marshal. When he retired from the city of Weatherford, the city gave him the first Lifetime Achievement Award. That award is now known as the Kurt Harris Lifetime Achievement Award. He also spent 2 years as Assistant State Fire Marshal for Inspections and currently serves as Assistant Parker County Fire Marshal. He was named the Texas Arson Investigator of the Year in 2006. Kurt has been very involved in his community, having served as president of the Campbell Memorial Hospital Board of Directors, the president of the Weatherford High School Booster Club, and as a member of the first Parker County Committee on Aging. He has also served in many leadership roles in his church. But what I most admire about Kurt is the pride and loyalty he feels towards his alma mater, Weatherford College. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Kurt Harris.
Thank you, President Eden and members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished alumni and faculty, devoted parents, family, friends, but most of all, you guys sitting right here. I have a feeling, I was just whispered in my ear a few minutes ago, that this group's a little more rowdy than the last group. I love that. We're going to get along really good. So I just want to tell you that it is a privilege to be here to celebrate your day, and I want you to know that my heart is with you because you're beginning, many of you, on a trail that I myself got to walk many years ago, and I'm excited for you. I also want to say to you or ask you, how does it feel? Let me know. Here. Well, when I was asked to do this, I really did give it much thought. I pondered, I prayed, I asked, am I to do this? And if so, what am I to say? And these thoughts that I'm going to share with you are what was laid on my heart. As I have spent most of my life in emergency services, and now am approaching the winter of my life, I have been able to, because I'm a lover of people. And that isn't something I can take credit for. It's something that God put in my heart real early on in my life. And I find you guys intriguing. Not just you and you up there and these wonderful people behind me. I study people. And I have, in the process of doing that, sort of seeing the excellence of people and those qualities that make you excellent are what I have really tried to garner from you and place in my heart and make it a part of my life. You guys, those qualities have impressed me and they've influenced me. And I want to talk about 3 of those today, because as you finish today, and most of you are through, at least for right now, with your education, and you're about to step out into that world, you're going to find that world will do one of 2 things. It's going to embrace you, or it will envelop you. And I want these qualities that I'm going to talk about today to grace you for what's out there, so that you can be victorious in whatever it is that you feel like you need to be doing. So the first of those qualities, and by the way, as I talk about these, it's not because I get to brag about the fact that I am any of these 3. I have just seen it, and those people of excellence possess these 3. So I want you to enjoy this and let it embed itself into your heart as we talk about it. And the first one of those qualities is courage. We got to see a lady in the first class that came through today, the first graduate class, that impressed me with her courage. Many of you probably know her. She is now blind and has to have a dog to get her from place to place. But today I saw her graduate with honors and did not let that blindness keep her from achieving what she knew she could achieve. And I'm telling you guys, that's courage. And I applaud that. But I'll say this at the same time, courage doesn't look like any one thing. It takes many forms and many shapes and many sizes. And it's sometimes obvious when we talk about our military. Certainly I'm talking about courage. When I talk about those fellow firefighters that I worked 40 years with, I'm talking about courage. And the law enforcement officers I got to train with and work with, very courageous men and women. But courage is more than that obvious thing that you see right in front of you. It can take other shapes and sizes, as I mentioned, and you can see it if you really pay attention to it, just like with this wonderful woman this morning. I will tell you that a friend of mine, I didn't realize it at the time, exhibited courage one night when I was at my house by myself, and a storm came in. And guys, when I'm telling you a storm, I'm talking about a storm. The lightning preceded everything else, and it was one of those nights that it was just constant lightning, over and over, back and forth. It was like a ping pong going on. And that in itself was amazing. But then the rains and the winds came, and it was horrible as far as just what was going on outside my window. And I stood there at that window, and I really did say a prayer that, you know, Father, please, I don't want to go out in this tonight. So please don't let any of that lightning that's flashing from cloud to cloud come in near any of these houses that I'm responsible for. Because it was miserable. And oh, by the way, it was cold. But as I look out that window at that rain that was now coming sideways, right behind my house there was a 30, 40-foot cliff that was a sheer cliff and went way up in the air. And then on top of that, which I could not see from my position, are some houses. But what I could see at the top of that hill was a really tall telephone pole. And because of the lightning show that was going on behind it, that pole really stuck out. And I sometimes have to wince as I look at it, but there it was. And as I looked at it, suddenly I noticed what looked like a light at the top of that pole. And I thought, what is that? It didn't make any sense. And so I winced, I looked really hard, and in a moment I recognized it was a friend of mine, a guy that some of you may have known. His name was Doc Swearinger. He was a lineman for the telephone company. And he was out there in that mess, risking his life to try to restore communication with those houses on the hill on a night like that. And what overwhelmed me was the courage it took to do that. Yes, I'm a little bit goofy. I run into burning houses and all that stuff, but I'm not going on top of that telephone pole. I just thought, poor Doc has lost his mind. But I grew in admiration of him tremendously that night, and I saw him a couple of days later, and I asked him about that. And I asked him where that courage came from, and he just looked at me and said, it's my job. What do you say? That's courage. I think of courage not only our soldiers, like I mentioned, that are all around the world right now protecting us, but even more so, I think of them as courageous when they are wounded and they come home to start their family, and their wife stands there beside them and will not give up on them. Whether it was loss of sight or loss of limb, they have this overriding willingness to do whatever it takes to succeed when the world is just beating down on them. Guys, that's courage. And I'm telling you, it is such a magnificent thing to see. And there will be times in the future when all of you will have opportunities, some of you many opportunities, to exhibit that kind of courage. And I pray when it happens that you will. But personally, one of the most outstanding examples of courage happened a little over 18 years ago, when my wife, Patty, and I, after trying for months and months and months to have a baby, one day finally realized that we were indeed pregnant. Not until after we went to our church and went to the front and asked to be prayed over. And folks, it worked, because that week we got pregnant. So don't tell me prayer doesn't work. Not that any of you said it, but it does. And I cannot begin to put into words how happy Patty and I were. Not only did we feel God's hand upon us, but we were going to be able to share a new life together. And we were so excited. So that 9 months just zipped by, and we were able to rejoice and come up with a name for her. We found out it was a little girl. We called her Rebecca, which means, by the way, the tie that binds, which was really important in our family because she was the one that brought our family together. We were so excited. And finally that night came when my wife went into the hospital to give birth. It was right up here at Weatherford Hospital. And everything seemed to be going fine. She tried to have it natural, it didn't work, so she had to have it a C-section. And because of that, there was a lot of tearing and stitching and cutting that had to be done. And so she was really pretty severely wounded. So she was in her bed, and I got to go around and watch our baby as they were taking care of it in the nursery. But very quickly, we came to see that there was something wrong with that baby. Rebecca wasn't acting right. Well, it turns out that after having brought her to Patty a couple of times, when Patty attempted to breastfeed that baby, that although she took the breast very quickly, the milk was going no place. And so the doctors looked and brought us in and told us that our baby had esophageal atresia. What that means is that the esophagus is just simply not there. It didn't form. There was a little bit hanging down from the top, a little bit sticking up from her stomach on the bottom, and nothing in between. And I truly thought at that moment that Rebecca was going to die. But then very quickly my thoughts were put on hold as the doctor told us we were going to transfer her very quickly from Weatherford Hospital, and we're going to take her to Children's in Fort Worth. And I immediately thought of my wife, who does not need to move. She doesn't even need to get out of that bed because she is stitched up and not feeling well. She was happy up until she heard that news, but other than that, she was not ready to go anyplace. But when that doctor said, "We're taking her to Fort Worth," Patty said, "We're going." And for the next 3 days after that, I did not see Patty lay down one time. She hovered over that baby. She was constant. Whether she was whispering that she loved that baby or tending to its needs or telling the nurses what she saw, but she did not leave that baby's side. And guys, I'm telling you, that's courage. Because I'm telling you also this, and guys, if you don't know this, let me be the first to tell you, that God decided to pull a funny one and make us the ones that had the babies instead of the women, we would have never gone past the first generation. And it ended right there. But somehow, God made it where women are so much tougher than any of us guys are, and if we're honest, we will admit that. I admit it. So I got to watch this woman, and I stood in amazement at her. And it's lasted these 18 years. She's never too tired to do something and anything that my daughter may need. And incidentally, let me go ahead and say 2 things about my daughter. Just to let you know that I got up at 2 o'clock this morning and loaded my daughter and my wife up and took my daughter to Love Field in Fort Worth so she could get on a plane and fly to her first ever mission trip. You talk about happy. That baby is fine. They took a piece of her stomach and they brought it around and they sewed it to the bottom of her, what little esophagus was there. And this is where her stomach is, right here. The tube right down into her tummy. It's the first one that children's ever had, and they've had one since. And oh, by the way, that child that we got to minister to, that second child, was born on the same day as my daughter. Now, tell me that God's not involved in all that. I'm just stunned by that. But I couldn't be prouder. My daughter just landed in Atlanta about an hour and a half ago for her next journey on down to where she will actually be doing ministry work. And I give God complete credit for that. She is a healthy, wonderful, beautiful child. And that's another type of courage. But let me tell you, there are more than that. And the one I want to mention just briefly is to you, the courage of your convictions. That's going to lead me into that next quality, but I want you to remember that. Because what you're convicted about, you must be able to stand with and stand for. So my next quality would be integrity. The definition of integrity is adherence to moral and ethical principles, soundness of moral character, honesty. Someone once said that integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is looking. And if you can claim that, I will tell you, you are an integrous person. And I would love to know you. But one very important part of integrity is knowing what you stand for. Deciding what truth really is. And for me, personally, the greatest source of truth that I have ever found is in my Bible. The Creator gave us this wonderful book to remove any doubt about what truth is. And he even goes on to explain how to treat our neighbors. He explains how to treat yourself. He even talks about how we are to treat our enemies. And I'll be talking about that again in just a moment. I mentioned in the first group that as wonderful as these instructors and professors are behind me, they are not the possessors of all knowledge. Nor am I, nor are you. But truth is out there. And you've got to pursue that truth and make it a part of who you are. So it's up to you to discover that. And it won't often be that which makes you happy when you do find truth. No, as a matter of fact, many times truth will make you very, very uncomfortable. But you know, once you believe that you know what the truth is, it's worth standing for. Until or unless you ever get to that point where you recognize that what you thought was the truth really isn't the truth, and then having the integrity to move to what you now find is the truth. We're constantly evolving there. So don't be afraid to say, I was wrong. Because when it's all said and done, when your life is over, one of the greatest things they can ever say about you is that your word meant something, that you were a man or woman of integrity. And I want to encourage you to make that a part of who you are. Of course, you are not infallible. You're going to make mistakes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about honesty. So as long as you are honest with others, and even honest with yourself, because yes, you can lie to yourself. You can try to convince yourself of something that in your heart you know isn't true. I have done it. I've been guilty of that. Don't fall for that. It's a trap. Let me read this poem to you. Although it was written many years ago, and it was written to his son, this author had it pretty much right when he wrote this. And many of you will recognize this poem. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you and make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your dream, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and pick them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at the beginning, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Now the author of that is a Nobel Prize winner, Rudyard Kipling. Many of you may be familiar with his name. But what makes him special is that he was offered knighthood because he is a British subject, by Britain on numerous occasions, and he never accepted that. Most likely out of the very humility that he talked about in that poem. And when you can speak it and then live it, you're a man of integrity or a woman of integrity. And that's what I feel like he was. Which leads me to the third quality, and that is love. When the Bible talks about the gifts one might possess, it says this of love. If I speak with the tongues of men and angels but do not have love, I have become a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and know all the mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I'm nothing. And if I give all my possessions to feed the poor, and if I deliver my body to be burned, but do not have love, it profits me nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. Love does not brag. It is not arrogant. It does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own. It is not provoked. It does not take into an account a wrong suffered. It does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. And this chapter that's written in ends just like this. But now abide faith, hope, love. These three, the greatest of these is love. What if, audience, what if, regardless of what your faith might be, the world used those words right there as its motto? What if each of us was more concerned with others than we are ourselves? What if the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, was everyone's heart cry? What if, as the Bible asks us to do, we could even love our enemy? Now that's a world I think you could live in. Here's the bottom line. If you have integrity and you mix that with love, then courage will follow behind, and you'll never have to worry about digging it out. It will be there for you when you need it. It is now up to you to decide what is truth. Will I be a person of integrity? And will I love those around me, even my enemy? God bless you all. Now go out and make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. At this time, I'd like to turn the stage over to Dr. Richard Bowers.
Graduates who meet the requirements for graduation will be deemed honor graduates if they have no grade lower than C, have a grade point average of 3.5 or higher, and have completed a minimum of 30 hours at Weatherford College. As I announce the names of the Weatherford College 2016 honor graduates, will you please stand and remain standing to be recognized? I would like to ask the audience, if you will, please hold your applause until all of these awardees have been recognized. Lisa Alvarez, Tyler Alves, Brandy Baker, Jack Rody Ballard, Donald Bricker, Catherine Gerhardt, Rodrigo Carrillo, Kristen Gilday, Harley Griffith, Courtney Hendricks, Tina Jennings, Jordan Jones, Mackenzie Kotarski, Wynn Lee, Emily Lee, Melanie Lindsay, April Long, Jamie Mullen, Renee Parker, Rebecca Parker, Tiffany Patino, Trinity Porter, Haley Reed, Valerie Reyna, Norma Robinson, Christine Scott, Caitlin Cecil, Sarah Settle, Micah Smith, Cindy Stewart, Rachel Storch, Amy Stiles, Brittany Wacker. Now, let's give all these honor graduates a regular. Weatherford College also recognizes the highest honor graduates in each degree: the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate in Arts Teaching, and the Associate of Applied Sciences. These recipients have the highest grade point average in their respective degrees. As I announce your name, please come up on stage and receive your award. Associate of Applied Science, Brandy Baker.
Associate of Applied Science, Tina Sales Jennings. Also, we have Highest Honors Award, Associate of Applied Science, Sarah Settle. All right, let's give all these individuals another great old round of applause.
At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Allison Stamatis, our 2015 Faculty Member of the Year, to come forward and introduce the 2016 Faculty Member of the Year.
Thank you all very much. The Weatherford College Foundation generously supports the award for the Faculty Member of the Year. This individual will receive the Gail and Wanda Grant Excellence Award, which includes a $1,000 honorarium and round-trip airfare for two to the destination of their choice. This year's Faculty Member of the Year has been at the college for almost 15 years. He has been described by his students as being a challenging instructor and holding very high expectations. This instructor becomes incredibly invested in each student to help them succeed. He never lets students give up. This person almost always has a student in his office, and many times students have to wait in line because so many people seek him out for advice on every aspect of their lives. He has also served on the appeals committee for many years, which is often a thankless job. I know that he is very much appreciated by the many students that he has counseled and helped to advance their studies and professional goals. There have been talented students who he helped to push even further, and there were also students who came in with their head down and ready to give up. He would encourage them to believe in themselves again. He has been described as a student whisperer. He always takes the time, student or colleague, to listen when you need to talk. This person also happens to teach in the same department that I do, and he teaches anatomy and physiology. So I think many of you in our graduating class are familiar with this individual. He also, I'm extremely fortunate to call him my mentor and very good friend. So please welcome me in congratulating our 2016 Faculty Member of the Year, Dr. Alex Ebe. But unfortunately, Dr. Ebe can't be with us today. He has a very, very valid reason. His daughter is graduating from law school today. And so please join me in congratulating him when he's back on campus. Please extend your congratulations.
Graduates, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Dr. Eaton, it gives me great pleasure to certify that these prospective graduates have completed or are in the process of completing courses of study mandated by local and state statutes. Certificates of completion and Associate of Applied Science degrees will be awarded once these requirements have been completed and verified.
With the power vested in me by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Weatherford College Board of Trustees, as president of Weatherford College, I recognize and confirm to these students the degrees and certificates which they have earned. Congratulations.
Students, at this time, will you please rise and come forward for the roll call? Haley Reed. Wynn Lee. Linda Stone. Lori Barrow McLemore. Peter Libby. Peter will be continuing his studies at Midwestern State University. Shanka Washington. Carrie Flores. Cookie Clark. J.R. Daniel. Kara Harris. Shelby Davidson. Caitlin Bohr. Karen Finch. Tina Jennings. Casey Patton. Sarah Settle. Brandy Baker. Brandy will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Michelle Segura. Michelle will be continuing her studies at Midwestern State University. Joa Christensen. Nalita Young. Harrison. Kimberly Schubert. Chloe Walker. Rachel Merrill. Rachel will be continuing her studies at Midwestern State University. Ashley Chapman. Catherine Hera. Courtney Stowe. Doris Story. Shayla Wright. Shayla will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Trinity Porter. Rolando Yagner. Michelle Messler. Michelle will be continuing her studies at Midwestern State University. Heather Sandmore. Morgan Martinez. Morgan will be continuing her studies at Midwestern State University.
Go, Mama!
Julia Hall. Rodrigo Carrillo. Vu Van. Tyler Alves. Victoria Price. Jana Eubank. Jessica Alrete. Morgan Cove. Morgan will be continuing her studies at Tarleton State University. Katarski. Mackenzie will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Caitlin Sessom. Caitlin will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Leslie Alvarez. Kristen Gilday. Courtney Hendricks. Catherine Matthews. Brittany Wacker. Kristen Scott. Valerie Reyna. Alyssa Boyer. Alyssa will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Tiara Griffin. Amy Stiles. Brittany Baby. Brittany will be continuing her studies at Western Governors University. Michelle Rundell. Michelle will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Kelly Hewitt. Lalina Citadel. Lalina will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Chanel Peterson. Chanel will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Marina Hanna. Destiny Giuliano. Destiny will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Renee Parker. Marilla Ramirez. Marilla will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Stella Ugege. Stella will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Sean Burklow. Cynthia Sparks. Cynthia will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Michelle Vale. Michelle will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Elizabeth Middlemass. Elizabeth will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Andrea Warren. Lisa Gilbert. Tiffany Patino. Tiffany will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Jamie Mullen. Megan Nademas. Megan will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Jordan Jones. Jordan will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Erin Folan. At the University of Texas at Arlington. Emily Lee. Emily is continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Carlos Cavazos. Chancey Kaufman. Rebecca Parker. Micah Smith. Harley Griffin. Sydney Stewart. Jason Chavez. Dylan Butler. Norma Robinson. Alexandria Glass. Garrett Brooks. Courtney Crawford. Janice Jackson. Stacy Boone. Amy Ollinger. Shelley Board. Janet Hines Finney. Janet will be continuing her studies at Liberty University. Laura Whitcall. Crystal Dunno. Deborah Gass. Jill Brown. Jose Pina. William Gilmore. William will be continuing his studies at Texas A&M University at San Antonio. Paul Maldonado. Paul will be continuing his studies at Texas A&M University at San Antonio. David Martinez. Melanie Lovebright. Melanie will be continuing her studies at Tarleton State University. Allie Brand. Allie will be continuing her studies at the TCC Police Academy. Andra Johnson. Judy Carranza. Kimberly Hutton. Brandon Billings. Jimmy McGuire. University. Monica Barfield. Sana Giovanni. Tasha Pardo. Christine Taylor. Shannon Mitchner. Shannon will be continuing her education right here at WC, continuing to work on her applied science degree. Larissa Reeves. Misty Hoffman. Monica DeVon. Monica will be continuing her studies at the University of Texas at Arlington. Alex Nolan. Alex will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. April Long. Ashley Ferguson. Ashley will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Marissa Mooney. Marissa will be continuing her studies at Texas Tech University. Aaliyah Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic hat, known as a mortarboard, along with its attached tassel, can trace its origins back to the commencement ceremonies and regalia at the beginning of the Renaissance in the 15th century. While the design and color of the tassel has changed over the years based on institution and major, its placement in American ceremonies now traditionally start on the right side of the student, then being moved to the left side after walking across stage for their recognition. The position of that simple piece of knotted string is significant. It is placed over the left side of the individual, indicating the bond of love, respect, and loyalty now developed between graduate and college. Graduates, we hope that you will always keep Weatherford College in your heart, because you will always be in ours. Graduates, you can now move your tassel from the right to the left.
Would you please stand and join with me in the singing of our alma mater, Old Black and Gold. Old black and gold, old black and gold, we'll sing your praise tonight. To let you know where'er we go, for the black and gold we'll fight.
like for us to give one more round of applause to our graduates. As we prepare to leave the auditorium, guests, will you please have a seat? Please remain seated. Graduates and faculty will remain standing. Jesse, are we ready?